Well, Prime Video have a new feature. It is called Heads of State. This is directed by Ilya Naishuller, right? Written by Josh Appelbaum, André Nemec, and Harrison Query. The film is produced by, it's produced by Peter Safran, right? The new co-head of DC Studios with obviously with James Gunn, right? And we look at their other big film this week, right? So Peter, he's a producer on it, along with John Rickard. Yeah, they are the lone producers. It's executive produced by Marcus Visidi, André Nemec, Idris Elba, John Cena, and Josh Appelbaum. We have co-production by Spencer Ella and James Smith. Oh, along with Angel Valasjevic. It is associate produced by Alison Fergal, with line production from John Bernard, Nicola Fedrigoni, and Aliskander Tadic. Stephen Price takes care of the music. Ben Davis is on cinematography, with Tom Harrison Reed editing the whole thing, right? Casting was Sophie Holland. Production design is Niall Maroney. We have got Fleur Whitlock, David Weir, Massimo Paletto, Simon Maguire, Simon Marseille, Elaine Kosmisku, Dragon Kaplarevic, Charlotte Hutchins, Loic Chavaron, and Lauren Briggs Miller on art direction. Jackie Yu is set decoration, with Jani Tami taking care of costumes. All right, hair and makeup, we have Emily Back, Haley Barkway, Sam Bear, Betty Beauchamp, Emmy Biche, Alma Bilas, Hannah Dora Borton, Orla Carroll, Anita Casilli, Olivia Casilli, Lacey Carbould, Francesca Crowder, Thibault Delutz, Amy Elliott, Sophie Finch, Ryaz Foster, Lulu Hall, Lisa Halstead, Catherine Hayes, Laurie K. Hugh, Magdalena Jansuka Samar, Johnny Ketterman, Natasha Christic, Rosemary Lamar, Daniel Lawson Johnson, Laura Lilly, Gemma Locat Smith, Mitch Lumsden, Chris Lyons, Nadine Mann, Emma Mash, Waldo Mason, Nicola Matthews, Jessica Needham, Frederick Ney, Sharon Nicholas, Shaka Nuna, Caitlin O'Brien, Clementine Olashaw, Sarah Osborne, Katie Patterson, Anna Pichelli. I mean, I'm leaving it there because there's a whole load of people on that shit, right? And the hair and makeup and all of that. So our cast, right? We have got Idris Elba as Sam Clark, right? Prime Minister of the UK. Will Derringer, the President of America, is played by John Cena. His wife, Kat Derringer, is played by Claire Foster. Right? We have got Noel Bissett, played by Priyanka Chopra Jonas. Victor Gradov is played by Paddy Considine. Right? Vice President Elizabeth Kirk, played by Carla Gugino. Arthur Hammond, played by Stephen Root. Marty Cormer, played by Jack Quaid. Simone Bradshaw, played by Sarah Niles. Quincy Harrington, played by Richard Coyle. We have Sasha the Killer, played by Alexander Kuznetsov. His partner, Olga the Killer, played by Katrina Durden. There is the Chief, played by Wade Briggs. Oh, yes. Kat and Will have got kids. One of them, Sawyer, is played by Robin Pennington. Yeah, they don't seem to list the other one. Doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. We have got Jack Gordon, played by Adrian Lucas. The Belarusian farmer is played by Engelborga Dapkunit. Agent Coop, played by Charlotte Copley. Agent Krassen, played by Stephen Cree. Agent Havil, played by Hugh Novelli. Agent Jax, played by Aled Ilya Thomas. Agent Choi, played by Arthur Lee. Agent Francis, played by Peter Gunny. Agent Lewis, played by Shaq B. Grant. Agent Peters, played by Daria Karuska. The Echelon Director, played by Peter DeJersey. Echelon Analyst, played by Carlotta Banat. Echelon Technician, played by Brendan Howley. Yeah, I mean, that's our main lot of people, I would say. Right, so the gist of the film, what is this all about? When the UK Prime Minister and US President become the targets of a foreign conspiracy, they're forced to rely on one another to thwart a global conspiracy. So that is the film. Now, well, I think here's the thing, right? So when you look at who made it, right, we have got Ilya Naishuller, and he made Nobody, right? He was the director on Nobody, and Nobody was so frigging good. I really enjoyed the fuck out of Nobody. Looking forward to Nobody 2. I don't think he's directing that one, unfortunately. Now, the writers, right? Josh Appelbaum, he's done, known franchises. He did Ghost Protocol, a couple of Ninja Turtle films, right? And his buddy André Nemec worked on the same things with him. So this looks to be the first feature from Harrison Query, and Harrison was the one that came up with the story, supposedly. I mean, it's not really a unique story, right? It's one of those ones where it's like, this person came up with the story, and you're like, oh, what? So they watched films. You know what I mean? Because this is basically the same as so many other films, you know? And I think it's that I feel will attract a lot of people, right? It's the big action, right? The explosions, right? I think the simple storyline, right? These are all the things that will have people being like, yeah, I'm down for that, right? But it's these things that also make this a very bland film. And again, right, it's got all the components that a lot of people want in an action flick, right? We start off with a joint CIA and MI5 operation, right, in Spain. It's in that festival of tomatoes, which would probably kill me, right? Oh, man, I just feel, why do you want to be involved in that? It baffles me, right? Baffles me. It's like, I believe there's another festival where they throw cow feces at each other. Yeah, I scratch my head. I don't understand it, right? Don't understand these festivals. But anyway, that's the backdrop for this, and we have a mission. Obviously, the mission goes wrong, right? Mad people die, and it's the kind of kickoff for everything that is to come. So this shows that they are looking for that big action. That's what this is, right? So we have that. But then from there, it's like the story, you know? We've got a US president, no real experience. He was an actor. Now, I mean, it's kind of played out, right? It's one of those ones where I think they looking at the current climate. But Ronald Reagan was an actor, right? That's where it all started. But again, we've had films where it's an inexperienced prime minister, president, or whatever taking charge, right? So you've got that, and then you've got the UK prime minister, who is, you know, more by the books, served in the military, just all of that kind of thing, and they do not get along, all stemming from something dumb. So we have all of this, right? And then they're, you know, as I said, they're attacked, presumed dead, and then we get this whole cat and mouse adventure around the world, essentially, kind of, through Europe. But it's that thing, right? It's the thing that has the prime minister and president at each other is just dumb, right? There's no real legs to it. No real legs to it. Throughout, you know, you've got the president going to Sam, like, why did you want to be, you know, in this position? Why did you want to be a prime minister? He's just like, I'm not telling you. And when you finally learn, it's just like, I mean, that's not there's nothing there that would have someone go, I'm not telling. It's stupid. You know what I mean? It's just dumb. So we have that just makes it just nonsensical, right? But then you've also got just a lot of the things that key into this, right? It's the ease of the situation on Air Force One. And you're just like, with the vetting that must go with all of these things, for, you know, someone to have as much accent is just baffling. And everyone on board just not to have an ounce of readiness about them. It is just silly. It's silly, people. You feel me? Right? But then we also do that big thing of people like getting blown up, you know, running through things, you know, just all nature of crazy. But there's no real change of clothes, right? No real change of clothes. People, no cuts or anything like that. Hair never messy, you know. just looking pretty fresh throughout the film. And you're just like, listen, you're doing all of this stuff. Really? That's what we're doing. That's what we're saying. Oh, it's that lack of attention to detail, right? And when I say attention to detail, obviously they're looking at certain things, but it's the minutiae, right? It's those little things that you just think, come on, man, let's sort that out, right? It's throwing in things that they think are going to be hilarious, but they're not. Like sheep's testicles, like, or was it nipples? It was one of the two, just not funny. The whole pun thing, the whole resistance to puns, right? It's just like, is someone really going to be that pedantic? You know? It's the silly bickering between Prime Minister and President when you're just like, okay, everything's gone to hell and these people are really going to bicker about this thing? Really? That's what we're saying? Now, some things, like I will say, right, they do this kind of quick kind of fun thing with recaps, like when a character's been doing something, they're like, where have you been? And they just kind of do this whole speed up kind of thing. That worked. I wasn't mad at that, right? That was fine. That works, there is a chemistry between Cena and Elba, right? There's that, and with Jonas as well, Chopra Jonas, right? There is this good chemistry between these characters, but between these actors, between the characters, everything feels rather flimsy, right? We have this love situation that again feels mad flims, right? There's a lot of extremely convenient shit going down, right? When someone's pressed against it and there's just like, there's no way out, and then all of a sudden, bang, 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 and you're just like, wait, what? Or wait, for that to happen, that means that person must have been there for the duration of this thing. So why are they only acting now? Right? There's a lot of that nonsense. I think just with the, like, they're trying to throw some red herrings your way. You don't really buy it because you're just like, super just too easy, and this film may be pretty, paint by numbers, but I don't even think they're gonna do that because that's just way too lazy, right? So it's just these weak plot points, just all of that kind of stuff, just all these people that are willing to die. Then it's just a random people willing to help. And you're just like, wait, why? Right? There's shifts in alliance, which you're just, again, it just feels flimsy, So, yeah, that's the thing with Heads of State. Look, if you want a action film you do not have to think about, right? It's one of those late at night flicks, one of those I've had a stressful week at work, right? Or uni or whatever. This is that kind of flick that you might throw on. And I think if you enjoyed stuff like G20, right, which we recently had, if that's your joint, then boom, Heads of State, you're down with that, right? It's got these similar flaws, and it's just that similar action that, yeah, if people gravitated to that, they enjoy that, then yeah, they will enjoy Heads of State. I think if you like stuff like was it The Working Man, that the latest Jason Statham film, right? If you enjoyed that, if you liked Old Guard 2, you know, this, The Accountant, right? Just any of them kind of flicks, then I think Heads of State will work for you. I'd say The Amateur, right? But that was a little bit more serious. I mean, The Amateur was rubbish, right? But it wasn't trying to be funny like Heads of State is. But it is still along those, lines. If you enjoyed that, you possibly will enjoy Heads of State, right? You do kind of get a feeling that the way all of this ends, right? I know I say the end with the cutscene and all of that, that they're kind of thinking we could make this into a franchise, right? And a franchise similar to is it White House Down, and you have London Down, and I think there's 3 films in that series, so it's one of them ones, right? And you kind of get the sense that, yeah, they wouldn't mind making it into a similar thing, but we will see. We will see. Now, people, if you enjoyed this, right, if you think I'm all wrong, feel free to let me know, right? Let me know the things that you enjoyed about this, right? Was it the car chases, the gunfights, right? What was it you really liked? Because, this isn't made for me, but it's made for people. And so if you're one of them people, yeah, what am I missing? Let me know. But yeah, you can watch Heads of State on Prime Video, and that's across the world, right? That's where you'll find it. Heads of State.